Two more stories. Employment stories. When I was running one of the agencies I worked in, staff came to me and said, I heard James wants a job. I said, yeah. Came to me the other day, said he wants a job. They said, well, you know, James is not work ready. I said, oh yeah? I said, yeah. You know James? He wipes his nose on his sleeve. He spits on the sidewalk. He thinks the F word is punctuation. He talks about what he admires about women's anatomy right in front of him. He is not work ready. I said, huh. And that weekend I was hanging with a friend of mine who owns a tow truck company, a towing company. We were watching a ball game and drinking beer. And as we're sitting there, we're sitting in his office because he seems to work 24/7, at least being physically present. And we see tow trucks leave, and they leave clean, they come back dirty. They leave clean, they come back dirty. So I'm watching this, and I said, Harry, who washes the trucks? He said, the drivers. I said, do they like that? And he said, no, they hate it, but they like clean trucks, and I demand clean trucks. I said, would you pay somebody to wash it? He said, how much? So we had a little negotiation. And I went back and I said, James, would you be interested in working at a tow truck company washing trucks? His eyes got big. He could go, I could do that. He didn't like hanging with us that much. And he went to the tow truck company, and the drivers changed his behavior. Because the drivers said, James, don't effing swear in front of the customers. The driver said, you cannot talk about the women until they're gone. And James was a happy guy. James got a uniform with his name on it, and his idea of heaven was to go along for a ride. This was a tow truck company that would be, you know, when the big tractor trailer turns over, this would be one of the companies that would get called, where they could really use some extra hands. And his idea of heaven, and he would tell me, oh, you know that wreck that held up traffic? I took care of it. But then there was Victor. And Victor came to me and said, I want a job. And I said, okay, what kind of job do you want? He said, I want a job just like Dad's. And I went, uh-oh. Because Victor's dad, this was part of the area of the District of Columbia, where the National Institutes of Health is. And Victor's dad is an MD, PhD, hyper-intelligent, manages millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars in research money. Where does it go? How's it get allocated? And Victor, while he's a remarkably charming person, is somebody who hasn't gotten out of high school, and has paranoid schizophrenia. And I'm going, a job just like that. I don't know how to do that. And one of those staff people that you all want to have, somebody who will come in and challenge you, came to me and said, I don't think you're really listening. And I was going, excuse me, I invented listening. What do you mean I'm not listening? I'm a great listener. And she said, I don't think you're really listening. I went, okay. I'll listen more. So I was going, Victor, tell me more about what a job just like Dad looks like. What's it look like? And he talked to me and talked to me, and finally we boiled it down to two things. You get to wear a white lab coat with your name embroidered on it, and people suck up to you. Those were the criteria for a job just like that. And so we found him a job at the National Institutes of Health, running one of those big high-speed copy machines that you are not allowed to touch. You can touch the little ones, but you can't touch those big high-speed machines. And there would be a brand new PhD, MD coming down there with a presentation that they want to have copied, that they just made changes in because they just wanted to be able to state the results differently. They have a new graph they put in it. And they're going, I need this now because I'm presenting it in 2 hours. And Victor would say, okay, fill out this form, put it in that stack, and I do them in turn, unless you suck up to it. But it's assumptions. It's assumptions that trap us. If you assume everyone is employable, more people will get jobs. There still will be some people who are going, damn, need to figure that out. But a friend of mine who teaches employment in Washington State says the requirement for employment is a voluntary muscle movement. I said, really? She said, oh yeah. And she tells a story about a guy that she got a job for, who the only muscle movement that he really has that's really good, well, there's several. He has a sip and puff wheelchair that he can get around in, so he can control that pretty well. And his other really good movement is eye gaze. And he works at a place called Powell's. And if any of you ever get to Portland, Oregon, you need to go to Powell's if you love books, because it has new and used books shelved together, and it's a city block. Well, they get books shipped to them every day. Shipments come in, used books. And you have to evaluate the books till they meet criteria to be shelved, where they're going to be recycled. So they have a guy who puts them on a conveyor belt, and this fellow, Paul, sits in his chair, and with eye gaze, he flicks his eye to the side, and a lever pushes the book in the recycle box. And he happily does that all day. So it really is something where we need to look at assumptions.